Sorry for being late, but I guess I'm the leadoff hitter, the cleanup hitter, and the 9-hole hitter today, huh? Well, I'll tell you, it was a frustrating trip home from Terre Haute yesterday. Plenty of time to think about what happened, and I still don't even know if I know what happened in the 7th inning. And I think I've been through every scenario of how are we going to do something different next time when it happens. But I think at the end of the day, you just got to give Indiana State credit for playing a full 7 innings and competing for 7 innings and never giving up. I think that's probably the biggest key that you can take out of the game yesterday. I wasn't disappointed in how we played for the entire weekend, but take 2 innings out of the 21 that we played, and we win all 3 games. We did just enough offensively. We did almost enough defensively and pitching that we should have won all 3 games this weekend. But once again, I think you got to tip your hat to Indiana State for being competitors and never giving up and scrapping. And, it just tells you it's still really hard to win on the road in the Valley, especially this year with the competitors that we have. Going forward this week, midweek against Iowa State, I think that's always an exciting game for both teams. To always play those in-state rivals, even though we see each other in the fall, and most of our team has competed against each other for a number of years now. But it's always fun to play those in-state games. And then looking forward to this weekend, we've got a really tough road ahead of us this weekend against Evansville, a team who hasn't in the last 10 years been towards the top of the league, but has been slowly gaining speed and kind of has that difference maker player for them right now. When she's in the circle, she can beat anybody. And Flory does a nice job of mixing pitches, locations, and speeds, and just an overall competitor on the mound. And I think we were lucky last year to get one of the games from her. She beat us once. But has been doing a great job in the league so far, and their record shows it. But we're going to have to be on our A game offensively to compete with her. I think our pitchers and our defense will do a good job like they have all year long to keep us in the game. But we're going to have to do a better job of executing, getting our best swing off early in the count, and being a little bit tougher with 2 strikes. And because it's going to take one of those lucky bounce hits or that 2-out, 2-strike hit to beat her, I think. We're gonna practice for that this week. Hopefully, do a better job offensively than we did this last weekend. If it wasn't for the long ball, we didn't do much to manufacture runs this weekend. But to do a better job with 2 strikes and do just a better job overall with how we compete, our mentality. It's not the mechanics right now; it's the effort and the motivation and how much heart we're going to put in it is going to be how we can be successful in the league. Any questions?
Given the way that game ended yesterday, Ron, are you worried about any long-term effects, just the way they'll respond after something like that?
I hope not. At the end of the day, the message before we broke it down and went to the showers and got on the bus was, well, it doesn't get any easier. I think that's the mentality that we got to have is, I don't know that there wasn't anything broke. It was just a matter of, when you've got somebody down, you got to finish. You just can't assume that the other team's beat and that they're going to give in. And we talk a lot about the difference between going out and getting it and hoping it happens. I think in that 7th inning, a lot of it was we just hoped that they let us win. And, that's one of the wrong teams to ever think that about because they showed us all weekend that they're great at getting people on base. They're great at putting pressure on you. And when you give them free bases like we did, they took advantage of them. They got the big hits when they needed to.
Is it good that you have a midweek game this week then? You don't have a lot of time to think about it?
I think it is good, and I think it also is good that we weren't able to mix people in as much as we have been early in the season. Based on the offenses that we were facing, they were very good short game, And so we had to make sure that our pieces were strong where we could defend those things. And I think midweek we can get some of those other kids back in the mix and make sure that we continue to have that quality depth. And still, we're still searching offensively to find a 4-hole hitter. You know, I think we've tried multiple different people. We've tried to put the hottest kid at the time in the 4-hole, and it seems like that's just like the ice cube. Whoever's hot, you put them in the 4-hole and they cool off as fast as anybody I know. Ashley Chesler was a good example of it. Yes, this weekend, where if it wasn't for her, game 2, we don't win it. You know, double and a home run and had 3 RBIs and basically won the game for us offensively, and hasn't been a kid in the lineup for us. So it's like, let's play the hot hand. Let's put her there, and, you know, cooled her off yesterday a little bit. But we're going to give her another shot tomorrow or on Wednesday and see. But I think we're still in that time where we need to try some things. We still need to figure things out. So midweek games are important for us this week.
What's the scouting report on Iowa State? How good are they this year?
Iowa State, pitching-wise, they're in better position than they have been in the last couple of years. I think, you know, wins and losses, they're right with us, where it's been 50-50. You never know what you're going to get. Offensively, you know, a new coaching staff, so they play the game a little bit differently than they have in the past, but a lot like the last 6 games we've played. Missouri State, Indiana State are a lot the same as Iowa State. You know, they're going to put the ball in play. They've got some good short game kids, and, you know, their intent is to get people on base and put pressure on you, run and manufacture runs, you know, with maybe a little bit more of the power game than Indiana State, but overall pretty much the same as what we've seen the last 6 games that we've played. Thank you.